Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. I'm gonna make it as short and concise and try to have some fun at the same time. 7.62 by 39. I'm gonna sight it in dead on at 100. Then we're gonna talk about drops. I'm going to stretch it out, have a little bit of fun on some steel targets all along the way, show you the drop charts, the energy, the speed, all of that to give you all the information to help you take your 7.62 by 9, stretch it out, hit some targets, hit some deer, whatever you want to. This is my CZ600 Alpha in 7.62 by 39 that I bought. It's got an 18-inch barrel, so similar barrel length to your AK, your SKS. Out to reasonable distances, the drops will be really close. But what am I going to use for this? Well, we're going to use some hunting ammo. Remington Core-Locked 7.62 by 39. It is a pointed soft point or PSP round. I might as well show you one here. I personally have taken a whitetail with this myself. The video is up of that hunt, but we gotta make sure that this is dead on perfect at 100. Then I'll get a chronograph speed. I'll show you the drop charts and stuff, and then we're actually gonna take it out and test out those drop charts. Hit some steel at some extended ranges. I'll give you a quick end to end here. I've got my Banish meat eater can on the end there. It's a pretty unique can. I encourage you to go read on it if you're interested. It's got a 6.5 end cap. It's got a 30 cal end cap. You can direct the gases out of it. It's got ports on the end. It's pretty cool, pretty unique can. And like I said, this is an 18-inch barrel CZ600 Alpha. The twist rate on this barrel is 1 and 9.5. On top, I've got an Arkin LH4. LH4 is Arkin's pretty budget friendly optic, but this one has the 24 zoomies, parallax adjustment, illumination, and it has the turrets where we're going to be able to dial with mills. They also have MOA, and I got it in my brand new Lead Sled DFT3. Let's do a group at 100 and see what happens. I've got my turret caps off because we're about to be doing some dialing. If you haven't seen Arkin optics, I love them. I've got them on a bunch of bolt actions. Not only are they budget friendly in the grand scheme of things, Arkin also gives us a big discount, 20 to 25%, something around in those ballparks with the code WHOTEEWHO. So if you need a good optic for a bolt action, AR, whatever, go check out Arkin optics. This is the LH4. Well, let's do a little group at 100 just to verify we're still in the ballpark. Then we'll start stretching it out after we do the chart quick. Ooh, I jerked that one right. Yep. Our up and down was good, but looks like I hit exactly where I broke the trigger. So that's a good sign. When I did the ammo test, I remember this Core-Lock stuff getting better than a 1-inch group. So I'm confident, but I just got to prove it to myself before we start stretching that out further than most people would with 7.62 by 39. Two more. Good squeeze there, and those last two are in the same hole. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. Ooh. 2 clicks, I think. Yeah, 2 clicks will get us in there. Real quick, let me show you how you adjust the turrets on this. This is my favorite design on turrets ever, and it's on a cheap optic. Let me show you. So you can see here on my turret, again, this is the Arkin LH4. I just dialed 2 more clicks to get it zeroed. So this cap on top, I'm gonna unscrew it. No tools required, I can use my fingers. I'm gonna pull this straight up, and I'm gonna put the turret back down to 0. Then I'm gonna screw this back on. I don't need any super tiny Allen keys, nothing. I'm out in the field hunting and I gotta reset things. Boom, and we're set. Again, toolless design. I absolutely love this thing. In order for us to start stretching it out, I gotta make the drop table so I know how to click my scope. So I got to run one through the chronograph and get the speed of these bow lots. Now Remington prints on their box 2365 feet per second, but we got to get the actual out of my rig in this 18-inch barrel. So let me send one over the chronograph quick. All right, this is the chronograph I'm using today, my Caldwell G2. I just ran one through there and got 2402 feet per second. So that's the speed I'm going to use to calculate my drops quick. All right, so using the data from these core locks, it's 125 grain. The BC is 0.267. I just wrote that down on the box off of Remington's website. It's the G1 BC. Plugged in 80 degrees. It's pretty early in the morning here. And that speed, 2402 feet per second. Dialed in at 100 yards. Let's take it out to 200 first. At 200 yards with this setup and that speed, these are going to drop almost 6 inches. You can see there in my chart, 5.8 inches. My dial for 200, which this is a mil scope. If you had MOA, you dial for what it says on this chart in MOAs. But my mils says 0.81 mils. So I'm going to dial this scope up to 0.8. Boop, 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 boop. These Arkans make it real easy. There's 0.8. Now, let's take it out to 200. You could do the holdover of 5.8 inches, but as I've shown in a bunch of other videos, dialing is always more precise. You did the calculations, just go ahead and do the dial. But let's go to 200. This is going to be fun. All right, here we go now. 200 yards. Got my 0.8 mils dialed. I got 3 in the mag. Since I dialed, I should be holding dead center. Got my target camera down there at 200. Set my parallax. First, let me crank the zoomies all the way up to 24 here. Fix my parallax. And like I said, since I dialed, I'm gonna hold dead center of the target. So here we go. See what kind of 200 yard group we can get with this core locked and this 600 alpha. Do my best on my squeeze here. That's an 8-inch gong, so it's not a huge target. Good squeeze there. Hit higher than center. Well, that hit in about the same spot. Let's send a third one. That one hit, but a little low and a little right. So 200 yards, money. We would have got that deer. Now, let me call out, as part of this discussion, the energy here. So on this table for 7.62 by 39 that I did, how much energy did we have at 100 yards? At 100 yards, we had 1326 foot-pounds of energy, okay? Take it out to 200, and we have 1,090. So at 200 yards, with this setup and this ammo, we've got 1,090 foot-pounds of energy. Let's go ahead and jump it out to 300 next, which calls for a 1.90 dial. So let me crank that almost up to 2 mils. And at 300 yards, it's 888. We're getting into the realm of where some people would say that's not enough energy for a deer. I'll leave that up to y'all, but 300 yards next, 1.9 mils. Let's set it up. All right, now I think you can see me, at least a little bit. 300 yards, I've got a 33% deer size target. I'll show you the size here when we go down there and look at it, but that's a Caldwell piece of steel. All the steel on my range is Caldwell AR500, but 1.9 mil dial, 300 yards. I got my target camera zoomed in on there. I'm gonna verify this before I send one. 300 yards says 1.90. Now I was hitting to the right edge of that 200. So I'm gonna favor just slightly left, but not much with my hold. Here we go. See where we're at on that little bitty deer target down there. Still got all the zoomies with 24. Get my parallax just perfect. Man, I like 24 power zoomies. I wish I had that scope camera that I'm trying to get a warranty claim on so y'all could see me. Man, that makes these videos so much better. Anyways, here we go. See where we're at, 7.62 by 39 at 300 yards on some steel with some lead hunting ammo. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got it. So my drift, I was holding center mass straight up from the left side of the front leg there. So we were hitting right at 200. We're hitting right even more at 300. Try to hold that exact same spot every time. I couldn't see it, but judging off the dirt, I want to say that was low. Didn't stay in the scope, but that sounded like dirt and not steel on that one. This might not be my first pick for 300-yard deer catching, huh? I don't think it would be for a bunch of y'all either, but if it's all you got to know how your rig performs, huh? Oh, light primer strike. I was having problems with this CZ in the previous video. The firing pin just doesn't hit very hard. Let's hit this same one again. Click again. Actually, we're just empty. Just kidding. Man, this guy, tell you what. Somebody said, man, you think this goober would know how many he loaded? Yeah, but you know, you get to talking and blah, blah, blah. Let's load up some more. I'm at a 50% hit rate at 300 with this thing now. That's not good enough. We gotta bump up the numbers. We hit the steel that time. We're doing a decent little group when we actually hit the steel, so I don't know if that's me or what, but I definitely jerked on that one. I didn't have a good rest. We hit it that time. I'm trying to hold the same spot instead of, so we have a 300-yard group as opposed to trying to get the vital zone hits. I think the ones I'm missing, I'm just missing slightly low. I think that went right under it. I think our heat might be bothering me now. Not of the temperature outside, but the barrel. Hey, let's go look at the steel real quick. All right, so there's my group at 100. One up here and then two in the same hole here, but then I adjusted my scope for this to be dead on right here. Then here was my group at 300. Two in pretty near the same spot, and then one a little bit lower and a little bit more right. And here's my group at 300 that favoring right, I was holding right there every time. That favoring right kept continuing, so I could have dialed for that or held for that, but I kind of wanted to get my 300-yard group. And I did miss a few. You can see that little trench right there up into my berm. And those were just going right here, right underneath it. But that was my somewhat semi-group at 300 yards, which the group is really gonna come in. You gotta keep the misses in there too. So at 300 yards, I was probably doing a, I don't know, that way, probably a 5-inch group is what I was doing with that at 300 yards. So me personally on catching deers, I'd probably keep that 7.62x9 set up to 200 and in. All right, so there you have it, 7.62x39. There's quite a few companies that still load hunting ammo for them. Core Locked being one of the ones that you're probably going to see most often. And those are 125 grainers. Like I said, I have a full deer hunt video up of me taking a deer with that stuff. It's actually 8-point buck. I got the Euro school of it. CZ600 Alpha. These things are generally awesome. Every single one that I've had, I've been able to get to group very well. This particular one, the firing pin is weak on it, but I had this in 6.5 PRC and it was awesome. I probably should have kept it. And we get good deals on these Arkans. This thing is pretty sweet, especially for an affordable one. Yeah, I dig them. But hey, 7.62 by 39 for whitetails. I'd probably keep it 200 yards and in. If you got a hands down crazy same whole group one, you might want to stretch it out a little bit further, but then again, you got to pay close attention to those energy numbers. It starts to drop off pretty quick after 200 yards. But hey, appreciate you watching. Let me know in the comments down below, which cartridge do you want me to do next? We're going to be doing more and more, as many as I can get my hands on, which is going to be a long list. But appreciate y'all. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you on the next one. WHOTEEWHO!
Load it up and get it on as soon as you can. 30-06, 10 mil, 50 cap. It don't make a difference, man. We like to shoot and make a little boom boom. If you like